Welcome to another episode of the Tabletop Trio podcast. It's been a while,
A little rusty.
so I forget what buttons I need to press and all that fun stuff. But it has been a while. I'm Bob,
Joe.
and we've got a good one for you. We can explain why it's been a while.
It's so many things.
There have been so many things, and every time we're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do this." Oh yeah, we can't. Oh yeah, we're gonna. Oh yeah, we're gonna. Oh.
Every time. It was every time.
It was. It was literally, we took a week off.
Yeah.
The next week, I don't remember if we did a show.
Nope.
Because we had the PAX recap.
Yep.
We took
That's
the
the
next.
last thing we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we took the next week off.
Right.
Then it was the holidays.
Yep.
And then we were going to do a show between Christmas and New Year's.
Yep. And then I got COVID.
Yep.
And then the day before I was supposed to leave for Vegas, I uncovided.
You literally got better out of spite.
Pure anger, really.
Because, you and I were talking, and I'm like, oh, hey, are we going to do the show? And you're like, I don't know. I think I have COVID. And I'm like, oh.
You think you have COVID? And I was like, yeah, I think. I don't know.
10 minutes later, you send me a picture of the test, and I'm like, there it is.
Yeah, that's a COVID.
And then we're chatting, you're like, shit, I have CES next week.
Yeah. So we missed that week, and now we're here.
Yeah.
Finally.
So it's been, what, 5-6 weeks?
Yeah.
Almost a month? More than a month?
More than a month. Not by choice. It was not by choice.
No, definitely not. And we have a whole backlog of, like, stuff we wanted to talk about, want to do, want to stream.
From PAX.
Yes. Yeah, we're still talking about shit from PAX, and that was the first week of December. Or not even, the first day of December.
It was the first day of December. We still have stuff to talk about.
But we're going to have that. Should we get into the first big news of 2024?
Yeah, we could hop in with the big news. We're going back to Boston.
Back to Boston. I cannot wait.
I'm so excited.
We have been named the official co-podcast of the Boston Sauce Party, which is a fantastic name for an event, by the way.
It really is.
It's going to be us alongside our friends at the Full Slice Podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to be the official podcasts of the show.
Yeah. And
we had a ton of fun last year.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of accidentally are weighed into being the official podcast for the second day.
I don't know.
Good old Sally Manilli.
Yeah.
Striking the show.
Had our back, apparently.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to be going up to Boston. That's going to be at the end of April. So we have a little bit of time, but we're working on some really cool stuff that I think you guys are going to dig, and it's going to be a blast.
I'm so excited for the hot sauce, but then also where it is.
Yes. It is going to be at Harpoon Brewery, which Harpoon
makes my favorite beer.
The UFO White is so good.
So good.
And it's going to be on the premises at
which is
Harpoon.
Dangerous more than anything else.
Yeah, the brewery is right there. They have a whole event space. I took a look at it on Google Maps. It's right at the ocean.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It's there on a pier in the industrial part of Boston.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
It's fantastic.
But we'll be going up there. I'm sure they're going to have some sort of pre-show party like they did last year.
Yeah, from what I was told,
hopefully they don't turn the heat off.
from what I was told, even the house that we are attempting to get is gonna be some craziness. So
yeah,
be on the lookout for that, because we are bringing everything.
Mugshots.
I am bringing everything I have, and I think we're gonna go a little crazy.
Joe wants to cook steak with a flamethrower again.
Yes.
So we'll just
leave it there.
That one there.
Stick a knife in that one.
It's gonna be good.
So ready for that.
I cannot wait. I had such a great time last year.
Yeah,
doing it.
The whole thing was fun. Everybody's always so nice, which is always makes you want to go more, because you just want to go talk to everyone again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, and we always joke around. Oh, it's like a family. But it is.
Yeah.
And we bring it up every time because everyone is so genuinely nice and supportive. Seeing all the different hot sauce vendors like and comment other hot sauce vendors like Instagrams and social medias and all that kind of stuff, yeah, they're competing against each other, but they're also trying to make each other better by doing it.
Yeah.
And they're all friends.
Yeah.
There's
good.
yeah, and if you're not the one to burn bridges or anything like that, and if you do, you may not be a part of it anymore. You know what I mean? But
Happens.
it's so cool to do. So I cannot wait for that. Last weekend in April, I think it's the 28th and 29th, I believe.
I think so.
I forget what it is off the top of my head, but those 2 days going to be up in Boston. Cannot wait.
I'm
excited.
so ready.
But yeah, so we should probably go into one of the other reasons we already mentioned why we didn't have a show the last couple of weeks. But you went on a little trip.
I did. I went on an adventure. I was able to get to CES for the first time, which is, I believe, stands for Consumer Electronics Show or Computer Electronics Show. I'm not sure which one the C stands for.
Consumer.
I think it's consumer. This year was all about clear shit. They had clear, transparent TVs everywhere, glass TVs, which it sucks for what you're looking at through media. So in person, it looks phenomenal. Looks just like a TV. The colors are clear. Everything looks nice. There's no washed out anything. It just looks like a TV that at some point the image moves and then you could just see through it.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was very wild. When you are taking pictures of it, so I have photos of when I was taking pictures, they look kind of washed out. They look a little meh.
Almost dim.
Yeah, or the colors aren't really there. The reds are washed out. And I guess it's just camera phone trying to make sense of what's happening. So I have photos of pretty much everything that I was doing or watching that I thought was interesting. But that was the big one. And there are way more electric cars than I thought would be at a electronics show.
Really?
They had a whole wing.
Wow.
And it wasn't just cars. They had excavators. I think it was Hyundai. Had an excavator that looked like a drone. So it had no pilot seat. It had 4 tank treads. It kind of looked like it belonged in Halo.
Oh, that's wild.
But it was an excavator.
Yeah.
And then right next to that was John Deere. And I'm like, well, you guys look boring as fuck after that. That's the future. You look exactly the same.
I saw someone compared John Deere is basically the Apple of farm equipment.
Yeah.
Where you can't repair your own stuff. You have to send it directly to them. They have their own proprietary shit.
That everyone loves hacking. Yeah, it's great.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, CES was wild. Vegas was wild.
I have never been, and part of me is just I don't even know if I want to go.
There is so much to do. That even if you don't like hanging out with a lot of people and the extroverty things,
hi, me.
There are still so many things to do.
Really?
Yeah, there's plays, there's shows. I was this close to getting tickets to BattleBots because BattleBots films in Vegas. They have their own studio.
Oh my god!
And it turns out they film nightly, but the nights I was there, they were already sold out.
Oh.
I didn't know it, or else I would have tried to book ahead of time.
That would have been amazing.
I just didn't know. I thought it was always California is where they film everything. I didn't know it was just BattleBots Vegas. It's just there.
Huh.
So that was there.
I know the MC's from New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was just there's a lot. I had a crazy experience because the guy that I was with spared no expense to make me feel at home. So I got picked up in a limo at the airport, which was I sent him a picture inside the limo. It was not a stretch limo, but it was a full size. And I sent him a picture while I was inside the limo. I'm like, I'm a cheaper date than this, right? Like an Uber would have done it.
Didn't expect me to put out at the end of
this. he started laughing, but like I was like, this is crazy. And then we stayed at the Cosmopolitan, which is a very nice hotel. We had like a penthouse, so I got my own 2-bedroom room. Then there was a living room. Then there was a foyer. And then there was a master bedroom.
Oh my God.
It was 3 baths.
Holy hell.
Yeah, it was wild. But what was cool about the Cosmopolitan is there's like I think there's a few. I drank a lot, so bear with me. But I think there were a few.
I swear you just said pimp house.
Yeah, close enough. So in the Cosmopolitan, we were walking around. This was like 2 a.m. We had dinner. We were drinking. We were at a club. We left. We go back. I thought we were going back to the hotel room. So we walked past a barbecue chicken place and a Chinese food, like food court kind of thing. And then there was an exit sign. So we're walking through a little like group. So I was like, he'll get there.
Joe's cat is struggling to get on top of the cat.
He's working on it. So it's a work in progress. So we're walking, and we just walked through like a table of people, and then to an exit door. And I'm like, is this like a secret exit to get to like the hotel room or like the elevators or something that I'm just not aware of? Opens up the door, fucking tequila speakeasy. Maybe a 10 by 10.
Jeez.
Yeah. It was crazy. They just had tequila and mezcal. That's it. No beer.
That's wild.
No beer, no gin, no whiskey, no nothing. Some people were going in there and they were asking for like other alcohol, and the bartenders were like, we are a tequila bar. Yeah. We have tequila and mezcal.
That's it.
I found out what mezcal is.
Yeah, what is mezcal? Because I've heard of it, but I've never...
Mezcal is tequila from not tequila, from like not the location. Kind of like how...
kind of like champagne versus sparkling wine.
Prosecco, yeah, the same thing. So we were drinking that. And then there was a place called Secret Pizza. And there's just like a random hallway. And if you follow the end of the hallway, you get a pinball machine. And then again, like another 10 by 10 room where you can just order pizza. And there's no signage.
Dope.
Yeah, there's no signage. There's no whatever. There's like these little hidden things in the hotel.
Huh.
So that was kind of fun.
That's really cool.
But yeah, Vegas was wild. CES was wild. It was so goddamn big. Like, we walked the first day and the second day, and then we still couldn't find some of like what we were looking for, like a couple of the companies. I'm like, what is going on? Why can't I find like a couple of the bigger companies I've been looking for? And then I look at the map and I'm like, holy shit, we missed an entire wing.
Damn.
So the Vegas Convention Center is the entire block long. Like if you're comparing it to like New York, like the long blocks, not the short blocks.
Wow.
So we walked 19,000 steps for 3 days.
Jeez.
And didn't see the same thing.
Wow. And that's holy crap.
Huge. And then when we thought we got everywhere, there were multiple stories. They had 2 stories available with like extra rooms and stuff. So it was crazy. Also, Purple Prince. Yeah, I had a smoky mezcal as well that was made with corn. And it was strong. It was very strong. Mezcal for the most. How many did I try? 6, 7. I'd say 3 of them were too strong. 2 of them were okay, and the rest of them were just like, yeah, they're all right. There's nothing I would buy again.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them I actually liked. one of them I was like, okay, I would drink that again. That's smooth.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we were eating. He brought me to all these restaurants and stuff, like through the Cosmopolitan, which was crazy. We went to Fontainebleau just to see what it was about because that's like the newest hotel in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Very pretty. I was looking at the tech specs.
Of course you were.
There were so many goddamn cameras. But the thing that threw me off that I think you would also appreciate is they are playing music throughout the entire, I guess it's 2 stories. It's like an arched. But it's not like mall music where you just hear like the high end.
Yeah,
and
like
mids.
muzak. Like
Yeah, you hear the lows, but it's not overpowering. And I have no idea where it's coming from because it's so uniformly there.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
It's just like an ambient sound.
Yeah, so like you could feel it just a teeny bit and you could hear it everywhere.
That's wild.
And I'm like looking and I'm like, there is a speaker like every 25 feet pointing in a direction.
Imagine all the wiring that has to go into that.
God.
Because, they're not going to have wireless, like with a place like that.
No. They
Holy
did have
hell.
Wi-Fi, and that was another thing that I thought about where I was just like, how many things do they have?
That's the part where, like, both of our jobs suck.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I know enough about this to be like, holy hell, that's a lot. How much is there? And then you start thinking about that instead of what you're actually there for.
Oh, yeah. No, I walked into one of the elevators, and the elevators in the Cosmopolitan have two TVs, basically like both long ways, and they have art, so it's constantly displaying like bookshelves with like books disappearing and coming back and stuff like that, because the lobby columns are also like giant monitors, so it's like an art display thing, kind of. So I got into one of the elevators, and I turn around, and I can never turn my freaking work brain off, and I'm like, this elevator, I guess, has maintenance or had maintenance like relatively recently, and the other guy I'm with is also the IT guy from my job. He's from the California side, I'm from the Jersey side. This is the first time we're meeting ever. And he goes, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "The activate Windows is on the monitor." And he turns around and he goes, "You just can't turn your work brain off, can you?" And I was like, "I really can't. I look at this everywhere." And he started laughing. So I have a photo. I have a couple photos of the elevator with the activate Windows.
That's amazing.
I just started laughing. And then throughout the days, I went through the rest of the elevators. 2 of them had activate Windows signs. So that was just like a funny.
That's so good.
A funny thing that happened. I do have an update because I was on several flights, which I guess Chicago hates me. I'm just not allowed to go to Chicago. So, I was supposed to go from Jersey to Chicago to Vegas on Tuesday, and then on Friday coming back, it was Vegas, Chicago, Jersey. On Tuesday, Chicago decided we would storm real bad. All flights diverted. So I ended up going from Jersey to where the fuck did I go? Dallas. No, not Dallas. Denver. And then from Denver to Vegas. So I didn't see Chicago on Tuesday.
Okay.
And then on Friday, before I even could wake up, all of my flights were changed because it dumped like 3 feet of snow in Chicago. So I ended up going Vegas, St. Louis, New Jersey.
Okay.
St. Louis was just as bad. I haven't been on a lot of flights, but those flights were sketchy landing here and New Jersey on Friday because we had all the rain and everything on Friday. Not fun to land in. I landed at like 1 a.m. So it was like right peak wind.
Like the peak of everything.
So in St. Louis, we like just put the tires down. And a gust of wind smacked the plane to the point where we all went, and like everyone grabbed their seats. Someone yelled because, of course, someone's always got to yell.
Were there clappers?
No, we didn't do clapping.
Good.
And then
clappers.
In Newark, we touched down and hydroplaned.
Oh.
Yeah. Not fun.
Especially when you're going,
No,
100 miles an hour.
It was more than 100. Way more than 100. Because he hit it, we landed, and I'm like, we're good. And then he stepped on the brakes, and then nothing kind of happened. And then he stepped on the brakes, and we were all like, because we were like all about to go forward.
Threw the engine in reverse.
Yeah, again, that one, we had yellers, we had whatever. Yeah, the Tokyo Drift music. Those were two not fun flights. But on the upside, I bought my heavies.
Mm-hmm.
I started listening to music on Tuesday at 4 a.m. because I got there way too early because I'm used to international flights.
Yeah.
So I started at 4 a.m. listening to music. I listened the entire time, never turned them off. Landed in Vegas at 4, so I guess it's about 12 hours. And still had 40 or 50% of the battery left.
Jeez.
And I had noise canceling on the whole time.
Damn.
Which I will give an update if anybody is interested in these. The noise canceling worked fantastic.
Okay.
I didn't know that the plane was that loud until they went to like make an announcement or like someone, if you want like, soda or something. So I like took it off. I was like, Jesus Christ, it's loud out here.
Now, are you a window open or window closed person?
Open. Yeah, I want to look out.
When I went to Denver last summer, I was peer pressured into closing my window.
By who?
The entire plane.
What?
The entire plane, for the most part, especially around me, had their windows closed.
What? Why?
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I got a window seat. I'm looking out the damn window.
Right, yeah.
So the entire time, I'm switching between my phone, like my Nintendo Switch, reading a book, or just staring out the window. And it was the coolest part.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, is that a racetrack? Racetrack. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is. Or the one thing I was doing, because my flight, it was, you did the flight.
Mm-hmm.
It was Philly to Denver. Really not that long.
No.
What, like 3-4 hours? Something like that.
I think mine was like 2.5.
Yeah, so, I mean, it really wasn't bad. So I'm sitting there, I'm on my phone on Google Maps, watching where we're going. And I'm like, this is super cool. What's around here?
And I like looking out the window, but I like taking pictures of like, if there's anything interesting going over there, or whatever. So if I get a window seat, I'm looking out the window.
Oh yeah.
I also bought my Steam Deck, which was great because I was just playing Gran Turismo.
That's so good.
I know. I buy a Steam Deck, and then the only thing I use it for is emulating PlayStation 2. Even though there's like a million Purple Prince.
Oh God, really?
Can't have them open for. Really? I didn't have that issue when we were going. We did Jersey to London, London to Germany, Germany to Poland. And we didn't have to do anything about the windows. They didn't care.
Wow.
Because I had a window seat the whole time.
Yeah, I've never flown international. Well, I've flown internationally to Mexico. So, like, technically I flew internationally, but not like...
Yeah, it counts.
It was like international light. You know what I mean? It's like going here or Canada.
Yeah.
But, so I've never experienced one of those, like, marathon flights. I feel like I would go crazy if they wouldn't let me
look out the window.
Even though, yeah, we're staring at water the whole time.
Well, it really depends on the day because most of the time you just see clouds.
Yeah, that's true.
Even like you don't get anything down there. It's just either you are in the cloud or above the cloud.
Well, one of the cool parts from flying to Denver was we're looking out the window and we're getting closer to Denver and we're flying over the Midwest, and you can actually see. It was closer to Denver, but we actually saw the scars of a tornado.
Really?
Like, you could watch, it was like perfect farmland, everything like that. And then it was just like dug up, thrown around, churned around. And you could actually watch it like snake across. Like, there was like debris and shit. There was like a blown up like farm and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, this is wild. Like, it was one of those things where like you felt bad, but at the same time, it was so cool to see the actual track that, the tornado took. It was pretty neat.
Sense, yeah.
It was just cool.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at, like, oh, okay, we're here near here. We flew over this way. This is the furthest west I've ever been.
That's what I said when I was in Vegas. It was like, they were like, oh, is this your first time in Vegas? Or your first time here? I'm like, this is my first time on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Like, period. This is
first time west ever.
They were like, how far were you before this? And I was like, Pittsburgh. That's it.
Well, for me, it was either, depending on where we were, if Cancun or Michigan was further west. Because, like, I've been to outside of Detroit or Cancun, and I think they're kind of in a line.
Yeah, that's about a line.
So I'm just like, that's how far west I've been?
Yeah, that's about it.
But now Denver's the furthest west.
Yeah, the Denver airport is a wild...
You have to take a train to get from the main area to any terminal.
So
it's so cool.
I think the thing that threw me off the most at Denver is the flight people who, like, have the things to, like, go, like, I had a guy who was about 6'1", thin, cowboy hat, cowboy boots.
That tracks.
Just announcing what plane we're going to be on. I couldn't keep it together. I'm not used. Whitest guy ever. I wasn't prepared. I'm like, you guys don't have these jobs. I'm so confused.
Yeah,
where am I?
Yeehaw.
And then someone was telling me who, like, travels a lot that apparently there's, like, a huge conspiracy theory.
There is a massive conspiracy theory about the Denver airport.
Yeah, and
it's the dumbest fucking thing.
And it being like a Nazi.
It's like it changes from conspiracy theory to conspiracy theory. It's like Nazi or Illuminati or, like, secret society, lizard people, like all this other stuff. To the point where I started getting those on, like, my Facebook Reels.
Oh no!
And there was one about using the Denver airport to prove that the Earth is flat.
Okay, that's too far.
Because there's a sculpture in the Denver airport that shows, like, the compass rose, but it's, like, warped and bent and, like, in one of the terminals. And the person's like, well, you see, this represents the ice wall. And then over here, you see north, but north is actually pointing west, which means that the Earth is actually flat. And I'm like,
oh, that's a reach.
I'm like, I don't want to be on this side of the internet, but I do, because this is insane. It was wild to watch that. And I'm like, I've been to the airport. Like, it's the airport.
Yeah.
You get on a plane, you go somewhere.
I think the most interesting thing about that airport is how chill the airport is. They have, because I was there because my flights got all messed up. I was there for 3 hours just chilling. And I ended up going in to the same gate that I had to leave from. So I didn't even have to move, which was, I think, arguably worse. If I'm going to be here for 3 hours, at least let me get lost going from a gate to a gate.
Yep.
But nope, I just get out, sit in the seat, wait 3 hours, get back on. So they had emotional support pets in strollers just wandering around so that people who were sitting around for a while could just pet a dog.
Mm-hmm. It's the best.
There was, and it wasn't like one or two of them. There were like 8. So, like, it's probably like every 15 minutes, just a random dog strolled by. It was just like, hi, you,
love me,
you, hey. So
pay attention to me.
So that was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of pots and pans in Denver. Very strong cast iron pots.
Yeah. But it was wild. St. Louis, the hobby nerd in me was laughing at St. Louis because all of the murals on the wall were words that had STL in it. But 3D print files are STLs. Mm-hmm. So I just kept turning the corners and giggling as I saw signs for St. Louis and just like the words, but like in big red instead of everything else being white was STL. And I'm like, man, they really like 3D printers out here.
That's like the ultimate like in joke with 3D printing. That's like, oh, what did you print? The St. Louis airport's call tag STL.
Yeah, I was just.
It's an STL.
It was fun overall though. I did one of the booths I got to go to was these guys, Audio Technica, and
I love their stuff. I love their headphones so much.
I have the headphones. I have a record player from them. They were showing off record players and headphones.
I think that'll be my my moving gift to myself is a new record player. It's gonna have to be Audio Technica.
It's so worth it. I have the Automatica, and it is just, there's something simple about hitting the play button, and then it just and then plays, and then just goes back home. I don't have to do anything because like
so good.
I'm not a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need.
I am, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be like mixing and shit or like changing tracks. If I bought the record, I like it enough to just listen to the record. So I'm just going to hit the play button and then listen, and then that's that. Plus, it has Bluetooth just in case you need it.
That's pretty great.
But they were there. They were demoing headphones. They had like just a wall of their headphones, and they had like the old Maxwell chair, like the one where like your arms are like up here, and like they did like the bow tie like blown backwards. So they had like 4 of those chairs where you just grab a pair of headphones, plug it in to like the side of the chair, and then you could just sit and listen to a song or 2 or however many
10
songs I was there for.
Because you're hungover and you just want to relax.
Because I grabbed a $2,000 pair of headphones. My work friend were like, "Are these good?" And I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "How do you know?" I'm like, "Well, I have these." And he's like, "Those are only like $130." I was like, "Right." And then I lean over and grab the $2,000 pair with like real mahogany shells.
Add a 0 to the end.
Yeah. I was like, "Mine are okay."
And double it.
These are going to be perfect. So I put them on, and I was just sitting in the chair. And at some point, I just lost track of when I was. Because I was just listening, and they were great. And then I put them away, and then I looked over, and there was like a $1,500 pair, but they were open back, and I was like, I mean, I gotta test it, right? So I grabbed that pair, but I'm sure it would have sounded better if I wasn't in a convention center with everyone around you yelling, because they were open. They were completely open.
Yeah.
So those, not a great experience at CES, but they still sounded good. It's just, I also heard everything else.
Well, especially with the open back too.
Right.
Open back, and you're also going to get a lot of like sound bleed coming out of the headphones too with open backs.
Yeah, which I didn't care about.
Because all of our jocks at work have open back headphones. So like you'll walk in and they have the board cranked.
Yeah.
And with my closed back ones,
you're like,
I'll plug them in. And the second I plug them in, it's like I'm listening to a speaker. Like sometimes they're actually louder than the studio monitors we have.
I think,
and I'm like, holy hell, you people are deaf.
I think the reason I might be leaning towards an open back for like the next time, like if I have to replace these, is strictly because the heat.
Yeah.
The open backs are open. I get airflow.
Yeah, that's true.
So that might be the only benefit I could see from like DJs and stuff. If you got these on for like 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day, you want to have that airflow so you're not like building heat.
I would say if I'm on full time, then I'd probably wind up doing open back. But for my, short 4+ hour shift, sometimes I'll just forget to wear headphones anyway. So I'll just be talking, hey, I'm here on the radio station. Oh yeah, my headphone. Whatever. Let's go to traffic. Here's Pete.
So, yeah. Overall, CES was wild. If you ever get a chance to go, and you like that kind of stuff, go. Just be prepared to walk a lot.
So media credentials next year.
I was in with MSI this year. I mean, they didn't know that, but.
So what you're saying is we get back with MSI.
Right.
And we get sponsored by them.
Who did I want to get sponsored by? I was talking to a couple companies.
All of them.
They had a VR rig. Well, they had a couple. And Stern ended up being there. They had pinball machines out, which was awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I was playing pinball there.
All of our things collide.
Yeah, they were just there. There was a guy. They had a simulator. I don't think that wasn't their thing. Like, they didn't make any part of the simulator. They were selling like aluminum car, like body shells for like battery, like I guess for EV batteries. But they had a display, I guess, to get people into the booth, which was, I'm gonna say, at least 10 feet tall. Just these fucking pipe legs, like just up there. And it was a simulator for 3 people. 1 person drives, 2 other passengers.
That's wild.
And I wanted to hop on the line because they were doing like a monster truck simulator or something, and the angles that fucking thing was going were like
a full, that's
like,
so cool.
It was probably, I'm assuming that is meant for roller coasters because it was like the triple monitors, and it's for 3 people. So I'm assuming it was like a more for like roller coaster type simulator for you to really get that like extreme.
I mean, monster trucks get like that too.
Yeah, it's true. As noted. But the line was like 80 people deep.
Oh.
And not like 80 people where like there are groups of 380. It was like 80 and each person had 3 people with them. So like
no.
It would have been like, I think they said there was like a 4-hour wait. And I'm like,
no, not wasting my time waiting in that.
They did, however, had another thing that I was looking for. Let me see if I can pull up the name real quick because I forgot it. I was able to demo it. It's a VR bodysuit.
Oh, like a haptic kind of thing?
Yeah. And I think it was called baaaack. Yep, baaacks. So I got to test the baaacks X40, which is a bodysuit that has 40 haptic sensors around the suit. And then it had, I didn't even realize it at the time because I've been following these guys for years. I just never bought one because I was just never able to test it, and I'm not. That's one of those things where you have to test it.
Oh, 100%.
If you don't like the experience of the haptics, you just spent $500 on something you're never going to use.
Yeah.
And you're not going to sell that for $500 to
No.
someone else. So you just lose. So they had demos out there. What I didn't realize is that the company has grown a little bit since the last I followed them. And they had it for the Quest headset where you're like around your eyes actually goes onto your headset as well. And then there are haptics in the headset. And then they gave me gloves that go on my wrist. They said they actually have gloves. They just came out with gloves that have a fingertip. But those are, you could buy them right now, but there's nothing made for them yet. So they were like, just don't, because if you're a developer,
technology's not ready yet.
Yeah. So it was really, I like that they're doing that on their website. They're like, hey, if you're a developer, buy this. If you are a user, you can, but you're not going to play.
Yeah, you're not going to be
anything.
able to do anything with it yet.
I like that they were very open about that instead of just like, yeah, buy it. There's only one thing that is made for it right now, and it's a demo. But so I was able to test some arcade game. Like an arcade shooting game where you just kind of like walk forward, but like there's enemies shooting everywhere. It's a simple game, but holy shit, the difference of experience.
Really?
So the biggest thing with VR, I think, is when I'm playing a game like a shooter or something like that, you really have to rely on your headset to figure out if something is behind you or on the left or right of you. If you can't immediately see it, you have to rely on your hearing. And that is like part of the experience, I guess. With the haptics, I got shot in the back and my back vibrated. I knew exactly where I got shot from. If I was playing that game without the haptics on, it'll do like the thing where it like lights up the bottom of the screen or whatever. So like you could, okay, the light's blinking that way. I have to turn around.
Yeah.
And that kind of just doesn't like it. It works in VR, but not like it does in like PC gaming, where like you can just spin the mouse around and then spin it back.
Just
again.
like who? What?
Yeah, there's no 360 no scopes in VR because you'll get dizzy and fall.
Trip over a fan or something.
Purple Prince. No, these are not the body suits for like camera tracking. These are haptic. So I was playing the game. I was getting shot at. I was pretty good at avoiding it, but if I got shot somewhere, it would vibrate where I got shot. And because there were so many sensors, it's not like my whole body vibrated or like my whole left side vibrated. It'd be like I got shot in the stomach, so like 2 sensors would vibrate.
Oh, that's cool.
Because it was my stomach. And then I didn't realize it until like halfway through the demo, which was probably 5 or 6 minutes in. Something shot me in the face and my face vibrated. And I was like, fuck. I don't remember the Quest having a vibrate motor, and I was correct. It doesn't. They have it.
That's wild.
And like the wrist when I was shooting.
I don't like my face being touched, so that would have been an immediate. Nope, I'm done. I'm out. No more.
It was interesting. The wrist. I didn't think the wrists would be. I didn't think the wrist would help as much as they did because I'm shooting. So, like, every time you pull the trigger, my wrist would vibrate just enough for me to feel like I was doing something.
That's cool. That is so cool.
So, like, if I had, like, a shield thing. So, if I was, like, moving my arm or something to do something, it would get hit and it would vibrate. Stuff like that. It was really cool. The company apparently does leg ones now. Like, you put them on the top of your feet. So, if you're playing, like, soccer and, like, motion sports like that, when you go to kick a ball, your foot will vibrate.
That's so cool.
Which is cool. So it was like I'm glad I was able to test that. It was like one of those things where it's like, I've been hearing about this company for a while.
Yeah.
But like, you can't go to a store and try it. They don't have a store.
Yeah, it's not like you can just like walk over to your local Micro Center and be like, hey, I want to try this.
Right. So it was really cool that they had that. What were the other really cool things that were like coming soon? I said I wasn't going to kickstart anything anymore. And then
you lied.
And then this company came out with a boom box. It's about yay big. It's got a speaker here, and then it's clear. And it looks like just a plastic case. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty basic. And then he synced his phone to Spotify and started playing a song. And then the lyrics started displaying on the clear part of the round speaker thing. Because it's a display. It'll
That's
do the
wild.
It'll do like the visualizations of the music playing, except you could see right through it. And they're like, "We're launching on Kickstarter this month," and I was like, "Fuck,
God damn it, I need it."
I'll be on there. And then right behind them, they had these monitors that you'd probably be a fan of. So they are 27-inch monitors, but through the use of fucking magic, when you lean in, because it's like a booth kind of like display. So you would, if you were at your desk, you'd have the monitor like pulled like way up. When you lean in, it is a 120-inch curved display. So it's basically like VR without the headset on. So like the forward VR.
And does it do like face tracking and?
Nope, doesn't do anything. It's just you lean in and it's a big. So what they were using it for was they were like, you could play VR games. That if you don't have VR, you could just play VR games.
Wow.
Like open, you just have to be forward, but whatever. You could use it for movies, obviously, because it's a 120-inch display. And then the biggest thing is for people who are either working from home or people who do work and want a huge monitor but don't have the space for a huge monitor, you take a 27-inch monitor and now you have a 120-inch monitor in the same form factor. So that was cool. I took a picture of that. Yeah, that was that was pretty interesting. I'm trying to think of our view was fantastic, so that was always nice.
I saw the only like bit of social media, and I didn't see a whole lot this year of social media from there, probably because I wasn't looking things up or anything like that. Was one of the brands, it might have been Sony. Not Sony. I forget what brand it was, but they came out with picture frame speakers, similar to that one that you got from IKEA.
Yeah,
but it's literally a picture frame. And it's the size of a picture frame, and you put them up, and they sync together with whatever the brand is, with like the woofer or like the sound bar that you get on your TV, and you can create wireless surround sound, but with picture frames.
I didn't even see them.
And they can be customized and all this other stuff. I think I saw it on like NBC News or like one of those kind of things. That looked really cool. I saw that they had the Garage 56 car that NASCAR brought to Le Mans. And it was the actual car that raced there too.
So they had,
which is so cool,
an Indy 500 car.
Oh.
But it was no driver's seat because it was AI driven. So they actually bought this car to Indianapolis 500 and had it do laps. And it didn't crash. So that was the whole thing. What was cool about this...
And the fact that those things go 250 miles an hour is disturbing.
I don't know how fast it was going, but yeah.
I mean...
what was cool about their display is they have the car, obviously, on the ground. Then the entire floor was a monitor, and the entire wall behind it was a monitor. And they were displaying a car driving on Indianapolis 500 from, like, the underneath of the car view, so like the road, and the behind view. So it looked like the car was driving even though it was standing still.
Oh, that is so cool.
That was a cool thing. Peterbilt released some sort of truck that is so fucking big.
Holy hell.
Yeah. It was... I don't even know how to get in.
Like, I know semis are huge, but
no,
that is
the
massive.
one next to it looked like a dwarf compared to that thing. I took a picture because the guy was standing there. I'm like, either he's 4 feet tall or I've never seen a semi that big in person.
That is awesome.
I'm trying to see. They had the robot bartenders that I told Phil got him out of a job.
The robots are coming.
So there's this company. What's the name of the company? It is Mullen. I believe it's Mullen. I laughed really hard because the car looks cool. Don't get me wrong, and you could order it, so it's like it's real. It looks like if you were designing a video game and you wanted to have Dodge in the game, but you couldn't license Dodge.
Yep. It looks like generic futuristic current car. That is car.
It's car. I laughed really hard about it. I'm trying to just go through. Mercedes had a whole display about their future of, like, I guess all of their infotainment systems, and they are fucking wild. They have a new headlight I don't even know if it's a concept. I think it's just coming out. Where the headlight has the normal headlights and then a bar, like the whole front is an LED bar. When you go to put your blinker on, a separate light shoots out onto the road in front of you and then displays a moving light image of you making the turn lane thing on the road. Like, actively on the road, like I'm turning, which just still blows my mind. I don't know how they pulled that off. And then the other thing they're doing is like AI lighting, where
I will say though, it is a shame that it's on a Mercedes because the turn signals will never be used.
Not even once. I think that's why they put it there. They're like, if we make it cool, people will use it. The other thing they did was for safety, because all these cars are getting so goddamn bright.
I hate it.
Yeah. So what Mercedes did was, if you're driving towards me and I'm driving towards you, it'll actively turn off the LEDs that would be blinding you at full speed. So they don't just turn off the left of the car. They'll turn off like the spotlight of you and then move as you pass and then turn back on.
Oh, that's cool.
Or if you're passing a stop sign or something that's reflective, it'll turn the lights off so that you can read the sign so that it's not reflecting.
Huh.
And it'll do it real time. So if you're moving, it doesn't just point in the direction and hope for the best. It actually like moves with the car. So that was cool.
Forza Racing lines.
They did have stop soon or stop up ahead. Like I guess if you had GPS on it, like shoots on the ground to like heads up. So yeah, basically.
That's why. I mean, in fairness, my mom's like 2019 GMC Acadia has the heads up display.
Does it?
It's the coolest thing because it just has the speed. But,
just enough.
But if you're driving, you don't need to look down. It just has your speed on the windshield.
Yeah, it's something I do like.
That's the coolest thing.
I did get to fuck with the moonwalkers.
I saw those.
Oh, it's so fun.
It looked awesome.
It's so fun. It's so stupid. It's so fun.
And I love how they're like, yeah, this is mostly for factory workers, but
That's
like,
what they're trying to say, but I was just like,
if someone else wants it.
I was in the parking lot just fucking going. They're like, right now it's on slow mode. I'm like, turn it on high mode. How do I turn it on high mode? They're like, we don't know if you're ready for high mode. I'm like, put it on high mode. I'm gonna go.
There's going to be a whole like community dedicated to overclocking those shoes when they come out.
Oh, absolutely. So for those who don't know, moonwalkers are not skates, but not shoes that you latch onto your shoes, and then you could walk like normal, or if you unlock them and start actually moving, they will basically assisted move with you, and the faster you walk, the faster the motors will go. So a human has a walking speed of about, at top speed, about 3 miles an hour. These shoes go up to 7 miles an hour. Yeah.
Oh my.
So I hit those things on high speed, and I started fucking going because it was in the parking lot. They didn't want them in packs, so it was in the parking lot of packs.
Watch out, Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Here I come.
Oh my God, I was moving. I was like, can I borrow these for the convention? I feel like I can get places.
Maybe you would have been able to see that last wing.
Yeah, I
that you
would have been
didn't
able
get
to see everything. Then I found like the most generic Jeep physically possible that wasn't Jeep.
It looks like if Jeep had a baby with Cybertruck.
If Jeep forgot how to make the rest of body panels and just used like the bolt-on steel from like 1940s planes.
It literally looks like the drawing every kindergartner thinks when you have car.
Yeah.
Car.
Well, Honda also did it.
That's like Countach with extra steps.
It really was. What was the coolest car? There was
I'm so bummed that we missed the Philly Auto Show.
Yeah.
That was this past weekend.
I don't think, do I have like the first picture of this truck? Oh, there was a Bugatti there. There was just like there. They were selling scooters. Bugatti has scooters.
They do. And
so does Fiat.
Well, yeah, that's just called a Fiat car.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, they're selling scooters. That's a Bugatti. That's a $3 million car. How much are the scooters?
They're what, like $2,000?
I didn't even want to know. I refuse.
I think I've seen them sold in like Costco or Sam's
scooters?
Club. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. What? I'm trying to find the truck because I took a picture and then we circled back and then I took more pictures because it was insane. So I think it was called V Wild or something like that was the company, and their take on a cyber like Rivian, it was more of a Rivian, is a concept car, and I'm so sad it'll never actually make it out. Because there's no way in hell it does. So it has the suicide door, or the doors that open both out, so you could look just directly through the car. The truck bed folds into the back seats, so you gain about 2 feet of truck bed, and then the back truck like flap goes down, so you'll have about 10 feet of pickup space.
That's pretty good.
And the windshield went from the the regular windshield all the way past the top into a moonroof. So it was like just one giant sheet of glass.
Wow. That's gotta
so
be expensive to replace.
If you look, you can see the glass all the way.
Yeah, look at that. That is so cool.
Plus the way the seats were like fucking boat seats, like they're not bolted down like normal seats were. They're like those boats where you have like that one pillar where it like looks cool, like the captain seats. It was just gorgeous. This truck was gorgeous, and I was like, I don't want to know the price. And then I was like,
better off not knowing.
Yeah, it's better off. And then they had micro LED displays were everywhere, and this is the first time I've ever seen like you take a picture of a TV, and it looks just like shit in comparison to the actual image.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God, I've never seen a TV that clear before. In my life. There has never been the $40,000 TVs at Best Buy, all of that look like shit in comparison to micro LED TVs.
Damn.
Like the future...
gonna be eating good.
Was it TCL? I think TCL had a micro LED on display. It was 150 or 160 inch micro LED, 8K or 16K display.
Holy crap!
A, it looked real, and B, I was standing about 10 feet away from this thing, so it's about the size of the wall here. I was standing about this far away. It shot to an outside video, and I actively had to like squint and turn because it was so fucking bright that it hurt, like I was stepping outside.
There's going to be that one neighbor who has it. The whole house is glowing from the outside. You're driving by, oh, looks like Chet's got the game on tonight.
Yeah, it was some crazy stuff.
That's awesome.
They had some crazy stuff there. In the airport when I was leaving, they have I guess because the Raiders are there, they have a Raiders fan section, so it's like a store you can go into. And I took like a 3-second video as I walked by because it was empty, and I was like, looks about right.
That's cool.
I just giggled. I just giggled as I walked past. I was like, yeah, no, that's it. That's correct.
That's the joke.
Yeah, you did it. Good job.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no, I wasn't expecting. Oh, here's the fucking monstrosity that was the Hyundai.
Yeah, that looks like something straight out of Halo.
Right.
You know why? That's the tank from Halo. The way the treads are designed.
Yeah.
That's literally shaped like the tank from Halo.
Some engineer at Hyundai was like,
I grew up playing as Master Chief. We're driving the Scorpion.
They'll never know. They're too old. They'll never know.
They'll never know, and these people will never put 2 and 2 together.
Right? Yeah, you'll never get it.
Then there's like that subsection of Halo fans. It's just like Scorpion.
Yeah, because I saw it, I was like, wait a minute. I know what that looks like.
I have a sudden urge to fight the Flood.
Yeah. So,
why do I hear chanting?
There was a lot of cool stuff. One of my favorite PC makers made a little tiny PC. So it looks like a normal little box.
Mm-hmm.
It's running a laptop processor, but like not a low end. It was like pretty high end, all things considered. It was like mid high end laptop. Except there's my hand.
Holy crap!
Yeah, I think the whole PC is like 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches by like maybe 2 inches.
The first picture you showed me, I'm like, yeah, it just looks like a regular,
just a normal regular PC. And then you put my hand
PC,
there.
you know, like probably if you wouldn't yet.
It's about this big. Actually, from the square, yeah, it's about that big. Is the whole PC.
That's wild.
And then,
that's slightly bigger than my CPU.
Yeah. And that's a whole computer there. So I thought that was
wrong.
That was wild for like, yeah, you could take a laptop, but like it's also cool that I could toss that in a bag and have like a whole PC just in a 2-inch package.
I know you just updated the streaming computer.
I know. Well, that's more powerful, but which is also a thing on our list. It seems to be great.
Yeah, I think it looks great. The new overlay looks fantastic.
Yeah, I love that.
I should probably add the Twitch icon to the socials, but like
But
you're
we're on
watching
Twitch.
it on Twitch, so you should know already.
Yeah.
Unless you're watching it on YouTube, but you know.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no, I think it's all working good. I think I really like the ease of use. You know how everything is kind of laid out.
Yeah, and for those of you who are maybe missed out on the conversation, Joe recently bought an Elgato Stream Link. What is it called?
I think it's the Cam Link Pro.
Okay, Cam Link
is what
Pro.
it's called, because they were, I guess they're discontinuing it because they're probably releasing a 4K version. But we don't stream 4K because it's Twitch.
Yeah.
So the Cam Link 4K has 4 camera inputs, but it's all connected to a PCI bus, and they're all one like connector. So when we set up multiple cameras, we could actually switch back and forth, or do multi-view or all that kind of cool stuff just directly from here, instead of what we were doing before, which was 3 Cam Link 4Ks, but they would always change which one is plugged in. So before every show would
and
be
they
like,
were always named the exact same thing.
so it's 15 minutes before every single show of trying to figure out what camera goes where.
Yeah. And now it's input 3 that we use as the main one, right? Right. Okay, cool.
Yeah, there you go. Plug in, good to go. So it's good to go. Plus we have storage here now, so
Yeah.
we could record our episodes and then immediately put them on YouTube instead of recording them, downloading them from Twitch at a worse quality, and then uploading.
Yeah. Recording, downloading, then re-uploading,
Yeah.
and all the fun stuff.
Because I like making things difficult.
Right? Got to go through like 15 steps before it's correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I actually bought something during our break.
You did.
I bought myself a direct drive wheel for iRacing. The difference between a direct drive wheel and any other standard like the Logitech wheels or anything like that is those are belt and gear driven.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, gears and belts that pull on it, and they give you the force feedback and all that kind of stuff. It's good. It's definitely what you want to start out with before you put any money into the hobby or anything like that.
Oh, definitely.
Fantastic starter wheel. The G29, G920 are kind of like the standard. This is your first wheel if you want to get into sim racing or any sort of driving simulator in general. That's your go-to.
Yep.
Then once you do that, you're like, okay, cool. I like the wheel. The wheel works.
The wheel is nice.
The wheel is good. Then you buy...
All praise the wheel.
Yeah. Then you go and you buy load cell pedals, which the standard pedals that you get for like the G series from Logitech or whatever, there's just like a little accelerometer in there, and it's just, okay, cool. You put your foot down.
It's a little spring.
Yeah, that's all it is. Load cells are heavier springs. They're adjustable, and they're made to give you more force, so you could be more precise with your braking going into the corner. You can get down more, you can brake quicker and be more steady and consistent and all that. It uses a lot of pressure. I think I have 2 5-pound springs on my wheel, but I can go up to 2 10-pound springs.
Yeah.
So like you really have to push hard to get it to brake, but it's like driving a real race car.
Right.
Once you get the load cell pedals and you want to upgrade, then you look into getting a direct drive wheel, which a direct drive wheel is literally computer, USB cable, motor. And attached to that motor is your steering wheel.
Is you.
There's no gears or belts that pull the wheel or the gear or anything like that. It is an engine. And
I just watched a video of someone breaking their hands.
yeah, it happens, especially once you get like the higher 15, 20, 25 Newton meter wheels. Those things are deadly.
Yeah.
That's why you do not want to. If you crash in the game,
Don't put your thumbs in.
you very well could break your wrists.
I just watched a video of a guy breaking, I think, 2 of his fingers because he was holding it wrong and crashed and didn't let go.
Yep. So. Yep. And if you see in-car camera wrecks in NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, when they hit the wall, they let go and they hold their arms to themselves. That is the exact same feeling you get in the car or in, out on your computer.
Yeah.
But I got a new wheel. I am so excited and I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, you got me wheel jealous.
It is.
I am still on the beginning.
It is so good. I got the Acetec Tony Kanon bundle. Yeah. Actually, I didn't get the bundle. I got the wheel and wheelbase.
Right, because you already have pedals.
I already have the pedals. I don't need the pedals.
Yeah.
It is Micro Center exclusive, and it's 12 Newton meters, whereas the other starters are like 5 and 9.
Yeah.
This one is 12. I can handle it at 10.
I was going to say, do you go to 12?
I'm like, you know what? I got to see what it's like. So I did the NASCAR cars at Daytona and threw it all the way up to 12. There's low torque mode, which ends at 8, and high torque mode that allows you to go to 9 plus. Right now, my comfort zone is like 9.5.
Do you have it set to disable on crash?
No.
So you just go
there's no way to do that.
Oh, there's not? I know on certain games there are.
Some there are. There is, iRacing has like reduced force on low speed. So if you're just like stopped and your car doesn't have power steering,
good luck.
Usually it's good luck, but with the reduced force, it's like, oh, okay, cool, I'm good.
Yeah.
Make
me hurt.
I did a lap around Daytona, and my arms felt like they were about to fall off because the track's bumpy and the wheel the entire time is just.
Oh, that's right, the bumps.
And on top of that, my wheel stand is not made for a direct drive wheel.
Especially not 12.
Because I bought it for my old wheel that had like 0 force, and it literally just was a clamp.
Yeah.
This I had to bolt in. Well, I buy the wheel, I drive out to Micro Center. There's a Micro Center like half an hour from my house over in Pennsylvania. So I drive out, pick it up, come back. I sit down, I open up the box. I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. I can't wait to set it up. You need hardware for it. Because Acetec wants you to buy their mounting kits. So there's no hardware. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just go to Home Depot. So I drive out to Home Depot, get there, and it's metric because they're based out of some European country. I forget exactly where.
Yeah.
So it's metric. So I'm looking for like specific metric bolts, but I don't know how deep the bolt is. So I bought like 4 different lengths of bolt. So I get in and then I look at my wheelbase or my wheel stand. Acetec is fairly new to the market. They're not using the standard bolt pattern that Fanatec, Moza, and all the other ones use. So I had to have it slightly off kilter and like put a bolt where like it's just kind of a design aspect and not really like a place where you should be screwing things in.
Yeah.
Had to do it that way. So the wheel was like kind of off kilter and I'm like, all right, I guess I have to buy the mounting plate for it.
Yeah.
So I buy the mounting plate. That comes like 3 days later, also from Micro Center, even though I could have picked it up when I was at Micro Center in the first place.
Yeah.
Had to, and it came with all the screws and the brackets and the nuts and the washers and everything. I still didn't have the right, like, the perfect placement for it. So it's in like a little like vent area. It's kind of like stuck in because I got the bottom mount and it's supposed to fit on like an actual extruded aluminum rig.
Wow. Right, because Micro Center does like the whole reel stream, like you make the box and the cockpit and the whole.
Oh, I spent way too much time because I'll get to that in a second. So I get it all set up. I have the nuts. I wound up grabbing some washers just to be safe to make sure there's enough surface area to pin it down, and it works great now. Only issue is since I'm so tall, the wheel stand is a little bit out of where it should be. So it rattles a lot. So I have to have the wheel stand kind of propped on my desk, which is wood.
Yeah.
I moved my wheel stand the other day.
It's all chopped up.
There are gouges in my desk that were not there before I had this wheel.
Oh yeah, I saw that coming.
But when I bought it, I went out, drove out to Micro Center, and I'm like, all right, I know exactly what I want. I am either getting the Moza R9 bundle or doing the Acetec one.
Right.
Same price. And I'm like, all right, well, it's more power for the Tony Kanaan one.
Right.
And it's a GT style wheel as opposed to the NASCAR wheel. Which next week I'm going to bring the actual wheel in so you could like see how it looks. And there's so many buttons. I can't keep track of what I saved to what.
That's what I was worried about. I'm like, that's too many. I have a VR headset on. I can't look down and see them. I only have to go on feel.
Yeah. And there are 3 rotary encoders. There are 2 multi-encoders where it's rotary and like omnidirectional up, down, left, right.
That's so many buttons.
And you push it in. So it literally does like 4 functions on one button, and there's 2 of them.
That's too many.
Plus there's 6 more like rolling encoders. So, and it literally, it's like a fidget. Like you just like push it forward, it just clicks.
Yeah.
So it's just like
satisfying.
Oh, it's so good. And then there are 4, 8, 12 plus just regular push buttons.
Just good old buttons.
The 2 flappy panels in the back, and there's a space to add 2 more flappy panels if you want to.
Huh.
So you could have like a second clutch or like a dual clutch kind of thing.
Yeah. It's
insane the amount of stuff that's there.
Oh, that's wild.
So I go to Micro Center, and at first I'm like, all right, I'm on their website. It says the sim racing department is here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, they have a sim racing department. This is going to be wild. So I go in, they moved things around apparently, and they don't keep everything out on the floor.
Yeah, no, not everything.
Which, understandable. But then I saw the rig. They have a full-on Tony Kanaan rig set up in the middle of the store. Triples, super professional, like direct drive wheel, like a full cockpit, shifter, everything. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Mm-hmm. So I sit down and it was like the Ferrari at like the spa. And I'm just ripping laps in this. I'm like, oh, this is the best thing ever. And it's got like the full like 3-pedal load cell outfit and everything. I'm just like, oh, this is my dream right here.
This is basically a real car.
And I'm like, I'm putting up laps, and it was so much fun because I went to the guy and he's like, I'm like, yeah, I want to buy a steering. He was like, I hope you know what you want because I don't know anything about this. I'm like,
at least he's honest.
I'm like, don't worry, I'll make it easy for you. Acetec, Tony Kanaan. He's like, sure.
Yup.
So he pulls it up, he prints it out. He's like, all right, hang out for 20 minutes and go to the front. It'll be up there.
Yeah.
So I just did laps around Spa and
oh no,
walked
I have
around.
to sit here and play this more.
I was playing with some microphones that they had. They had like the retro style microphone, and I'm like,
it's funny. Last time I was there, I played with that one too.
This. It's like $150.
I said the same.
I don't need it, but God, I love this thing so much.
I said, as Bronson, I said the same exact thing when we went. He's like, "What do you need that for?" I'm like, "I don't. It's just so cool."
It's literally the design I want my tattoo to be. Like that's literally the microphone I want the tattoo of.
I want to get a Bob Barker microphone.
Those are so cool.
Yeah, just like the little stick ones that are like 8 feet long for no reason.
Yeah, 8 feet long, and the top of the mic is like this tiny.
Yes, a little quarter of an inch. I'd like to make one out of just make it like hilariously stupidly long. like I want like a 4.5 foot long Bob Barker microphone, where it's just like quarter-inch aluminum that is like over another microphone, like one of the regular like Bob Barker ones. Just make it.
Joe, hear me out.
Hear me out.
Microphone grown too.
Oh God!
And every time you turn to interview someone,
have it double-sided like a friggin' Darth Maul. The wires in the middle. So I have a question. I wrote this down like I guess a month and a half ago, give or take.
Okay.
When this is for the chat as well. When you drive, what feet do you use? Like, what position do you rest your foot at? Do you rest it on the gas side or on the brake side and then lean your foot over to the gas? Or do you do gas and then lean over to the brake? Which foot do you do?
Gas, right?
It's everyone's different.
Yeah, because I don't really. So here's my caveat. So I'm sitting here as if I'm driving, and I'm in my driving position,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's gas. Yeah, gas.
So on my Jeep, it's brake. But on the Nissan, it's gas. Because there's a little lip on my Jeep where if I put my foot where the gas would be, eventually my foot slides away because it's not flat. So I end up eventually basically like this, where my foot's near the gas or near the brake, but I'm tapping on the gas and I'm driving like normal. And then when I have to step on my brakes, it's right there fast. So it's like reverse, what is it? Toe heel toe?
Yeah.
It's like reverse.
Yeah, so it's toe heel instead of heel toe.
Yeah. I'm toe healing. I thought it because I was thinking about it one day. I'm like, how does everybody else drive? Because I know like when I'm in iRacing and it's like my brain switches somewhere completely different because all of a sudden I'm really good with 2 feet. Brake
It's
and
wild,
drive.
right?
But then I get onto like regular roads and I'll do 2 feet and my car is just like, ha, 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 ha. It's
Same.
Stop, go, brake hard, fast, slow.
And the opposite is true too. Where if
trying
you
to do
try
at
one
work.
foot,
Yeah, no, it doesn't work.
doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
And I'm right-handed and right-footed. So like you would think me getting on the brake with my right foot would just be like, boom, done, perfect stop.
Nope, doesn't work.
No, it's just like, I can't push the brake pedal down.
Can't do it at the same time. It just doesn't work. My brain keeps it 2 different. It's like, nope. You get that one at home and you get that one on the road, and they don't mix. And
That's why I could never drive a race car in real life.
Well, I think that would be different because I think what it came down to for me was the speed. When I'm racing, I'm mostly using the gas, and then I'm tapping the brakes to get into a turn, or I'm pushing on the brakes to avoid an accident or whatever. But I'm not like in traffic where I have to gradually slow down to 0 or 2. I'm going from like 180 to like 140.
Yeah.
Like at no point am I below 100.
Yeah.
Unless I crashed. But at that point, my foot is firmly down on the brakes anyway.
And just be glad you don't have a direct drive wheel.
Right. Well, I do want a direct drive wheel.
Acetec.
Which we bought up today. That Turtle Beach might be...
So Turtle Beach,
out of all the companies.
the people who make, the Player 2 controller, like the
weird?
Mad Cats of our generation.
I think they bought Mad Cats. Anyway,
They probably did.
They actually, as of right now, are the highest rated flight cockpit like things, which is weird because I thought Logitech had a lock on that.
Well, Thrustmaster has some good ones too.
Yes, but apparently Turtle Beach for for the sim side of things, not the flight ones, not like the fighter, just like the normal I'm gonna play like Flight Simulator. And
I'm gonna fly a 737 omnibus.
Apparently they are like the top.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so they Bob sent me today just released their new, or I guess they almost released their
It's
new,
coming soon. TM.
I like all the features for the price. It's got like a big screen with like all the friggin'
Yeah, it's got a screen on the wheel, which does not happen.
No, well they do have screens on the wheels, but they're usually just like shift now or whatever.
Yeah.
But this was like a freaking heads-up display from your car where, like, you could see your warning lights. I'm like, what do they have? Low tire pressure on that bitch? Like, what do we got? It
They
turns out,
probably
yes,
do.
Yes, they did. I looked at one of the images. It had everything. I'm like, great, that's what I need. The fucking check engine light to come on my sim racer. Like, fuck you too.
Mm-hmm. But it's got a whole button box, which is insane.
I think that's
with
my
the toggle switches and the button.
I think
It's
that's
so
my
cool.
favorite part is that it has like 4 toggle switches with like the "Are you sure" flippers, like I'm launching nuclear codes, and it has like the start stop button, like a real engine. I like that, and they made it detachable, so you could actually move it to like somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we'll see, because right now everyone on Reddit and all of the sim racer Facebook groups are all like,
It's really cool.
well, it looks well. It's apparently split. Some people are like, it's hideous. It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
They said that about the Azatec wheel as well.
And then some people are like, I think it looks really nice. And then other people like me, where I'm like, it looks cool, but they were really light on the specs of like what it does. They kind of just made like a couple sentences of like, look how cool this thing is with the space age design and leather. And I'm like, what's the performance?
This one is written in a different language.
Give us
marketing ease.
Yeah. I was like, give us the numbers. We're here for the numbers. Welcome to the Sim Racer community, Turtle Beach. We're glad you're here because competition is great. We want numbers. So it's exciting. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I will never say no to a new manufacturer when it comes to sim racing gear, especially direct drive.
Yeah.
And making it so it's a good, even if it's not like, like the starter one, but a good, a good entry level direct drive, because Fanatec, their customer service is garbage.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
I have seen so many people have issues with Fanatec. They had a big Black Friday sale.
Mm-hmm.
People ordered on Black Friday, said it would be shipped by December, are still waiting for their wheels and base and everything, to the point where they got emails a few weeks ago saying that it won't be ready until May.
Oh, that's if they get it. I'm surprised.
And they bought it in November.
A lot of people are getting them canceled.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm interested because as of right now, I found a Reddit post about the page, and apparently there were like a handful of insiders that are like, they just lifted the embargo, so I could finally talk about it. They apparently started at 14 and then kept rolling it down, I guess, through testing. And so right now they think they landed at around 9.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. If it's 9 for that price, I'm probably
that would be an instant buy, because it comes with load cell pedals too.
right, because unlike you, I'm running a G27, which is from 2007.
If you want my wheel, I will give it to you.
But mine still works. I found some guy overclocked his. So
because of course
he took it apart. He replaced the power supply with a higher power supply, which did 1% or 2%, but then opened it up and then really modified it, added more power, legit more power. And I was like, yeah, but it's still a belt drive, so it still slides. So the biggest issue, for those of you who don't know wheels or anything like that, when you have a belt drive, if you're starting to crash or whatever and you just hold the wheel really tight, the belt will start to slip. So you're not going to get pulled by the wheel, you're pulling the wheel. And then if you do that long enough, eventually it'll start burning out because you're making it not move correctly. Mm-hmm. So
chip a gear or chip a tooth in the belt. Whatever.
That's a thing that happens because there's not a lot of power, because it's just, at the end of the day, a piece of rubber somewhere that's just being pulled by 2 gears. With direct drive, there is no anything between it. It's a gear and then you. So when that thing says, I want to jiggle or turn left, you don't hold on because it's gonna go left. So that's That's a big difference. So
My biggest fear is wheel-to-wheel collisions. Because that's how that guy broke his hand. That was it, in a Formula One car in wheel-to-wheel collisions.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because rubber bounces and wheels and
because it
physics.
was Formula One. He had the little Y like bow tie thing. So, but yeah, I still run a G27, which is getting to be a pain in the ass because it was never meant for Windows 10.
The way you have to set up your wheel.
Shut up.
When we stream on my YouTube channel of us racing, we usually say, okay, cool, 8 o'clock we'll go live. All right, you ready to start at 7?
Yep.
Just so we're maybe ready for 8:30.
Yeah, I got it. There's a lot of setup to get a wheel from 2007 working in Windows 11.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm just like, all right, I guess I'll just do some AI racing while I wait.
Yeah, so it's getting to the point where I need an upgrade, and I started looking, and it's like, how much do I want to spend? And then I was like, $1,200, $1,300, because I need wheels, and I need a pedal, and I need a shift. Like, I need everything.
Yeah. Well, you don't need the shifter.
I
know you
anymore.
want the shifter.
It's just
But you never need the shifter because 90% of the cars in iRacing, unless you're driving some of the older stuff or the NASCAR stuff, are, in real life anyway, the flappy paddles. Even then, you could still drive the H pattern stuff with the flappy paddle. That's what I do.
Yeah, I know. In my brain, I'm like, the arcade in me is like, I like the shifter. It's satisfying to do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But even nowadays with like the manual cars, they're not 6-speed anymore. They're like 8. Yeah. So it's like, I'm going to buy a 5-speed. I'm behind the curve here.
Yeah.
What do I do for the last 2 gears? Use the paddles anyway.
It's like, okay, cool. I'm in 8 or I'm in 5th. Well, NASCAR's in 5 gears.
Yeah.
And even then that's, I forget where, it's just bump. Or it's like, okay, shifting down, shifting up, and they pull.
So they went arcade style, up, down, down.
Yeah.
So
only the Cup Series. Trucks and Xfinity are still 4.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm torn. So I was always back and forth, but it's like I don't want to spend a ton.
I have never seen that before.
Me either.
USB mode is apparently connecting.
Interesting. Well, this is new.
Joe's going to take a look at that.
Oh. There's a first for everything.
This is literally the first time we've ever had this issue. But now you know we use Elgato for the camera, and let's see if this is able to come back on. Granted, we have been doing this now for an hour and a half.
That is true, but it was never...
No, it's back into USB mode.
It sure is. Which is weird, because there's no USB connected.
If you missed that, Joe said, which is weird, because there is no USB connected. I am genuinely confused to how this is going. If you're a podcast listener right now, you are very confused.
I'm just as confused.
And I would be giving you a play-by-play at the moment, but currently it's a black screen. Joe is checking all of the bits and pieces of the camera. Even the camera was just like, no, we're done. Now just give the Nintendo cartridge treatment.
Hey, listen.
Just blow on it, see if it works, you know. And apparently Purple Prince said there were a couple times during the stream as well that the camera froze for like half a second. And also on our side of things, it does say welcome to the chat room like 500,000 times.
Yeah, I don't know what that's
So,
about.
well, Joe has been having some network problems as of late, and I think the camera is being affected, even though it's not a smart device. But I feel like that's a pretty good jumping off point.
It seems that way.
The camera's like, guys, you're done. You're done. And so I have been welcomed. No, Phil. Phil said that. But yeah, this has been a really fun episode. I'm glad to have us back. Maybe we'll try to get the camera one last shot.
I'm working on it. Nope.
I watched the lens pop out and just like, nope, I'm going back. Went and hibernated for the winter.
All right, well, that's weird. Looks like the last minute of the episode is podcast.
Grandpa, I'm tired. Well, that's too damn bad.
Well, that's new.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that one before.
Nope. Gonna have to figure that out.
And neither have you, as I point to the camera that's not working. But yeah, this has been a very fun. Can you tell it's been the first time in like 6 weeks that we've done this show?
What's crazy is we still have so many things to talk about.
Right. Well, we're gonna have some fun next week. We got a few fun things planned as well. We are going to be doing a stream one of these days of One Deck Galaxy.
Yes.
We picked them up at PAX. Was chatting with the game makers there for a little bit as well. So going to be a lot of fun. Theater of Mind Twitch stream. I mean,
yeah,
it's radio. Yeah. I'll do it.
Yeah, well, we're doing it. We'll just in post, I'll just add us moving our hands wildly in the air, talking
Shitty
about nothing.
Paint drawing. Just stick figure.
Just a stick figure for the last. It's fine.
But yeah, so this has been a lot of fun. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. All the social media is right there: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Haven't really posted anything on there in a while. Also, wherever you find podcasts, we are there. Spotify, Apple, all the good ones as well. Special thanks to everyone hanging out with us. Phil in the chat as well. And for one final time, I'm Bob.
I'm Joe.
It's been the Tabletop Trio podcast. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.